the exact moment Amber Heard lost the case versus Johnny Depp. Fans have been constantly pointing out many vast inconsistencies as they pore over the information that's been presented in court, especially that coming from Amber Heard, and it's very clear to any spectator of the case that Amber has messed up big time during her testimony, and that too on several occasions, which may hand Johnny Depp and his team victory over her in the trial. But what exactly are those mistakes? Keep watching and let's find out. How's it gone down so far? Heard and Depp have narrated a very disturbing picture of their brief yet chaotic marriage to the whole world. Testimony on both sides has been painful and draining. Heard's attorneys really dug into Depp for hours on his alleged substance abuse, while his witnesses made suspicious claims about Heard's histrionic personality disorder. Her team has revealed pictures of her bruised face, busted lip, and torn off hair on the couple's bedroom floor. Depp has confessed to drawing threatening messages on their walls in his own blood, whereas in the text messages we see him apologizing for spraying rage at her during one of his blackouts, as well as saying he hoped Heard's rotting corpse was decomposing in the bleeping trunk of a Honda Civic. He has since expressed remorse at having sent those texts, but the damage is done, and even though most of the evidence is on his side, this does look really bad. Video proof. Among the most obvious proof in Depp's favor is the affairs Amber had with two big celebs. The actor's defense made the jury view elevator footage of the actress having late-night meetings with Elon Musk and James Franco, and that too in Depp's own penthouse. It was expected that both celebrities will go and testify on the trial, but they've been no-shows. In Depp's favor, both of these guys were proved to be having their affairs with Heard right when the actor was married to her. To further the evidence, there are moments in the elevator clips where Amber doesn't have clothes on and she is only wearing a blanket. She displays physical affection to Musk and also Franco, but more mildly. This new evidence proves that Heard was not faithful to Depp, and most of her accusations could be rendered useless as a result. To make matters worse, there are even more incriminating accusations from Depp that we are now just hearing of. The video of Heard with Musk and Franco is yet another proof that perhaps many of her other statements aren't true either, and they have also been proven so. Let's take a look at the rest of her claims that didn't hold up. The testimony from Heard's ex-nurse. Amber's former nurse, Erin Falatay, was also called to testify in court. Falatay was asked about text messages she had gotten from Heard, showing bruises that the actress had on her face. When asked to voice her thoughts, Falatay did warn us that she's not exactly an expert, but she had no idea what the color on Amber's face was. Falatay was also asked if Heard had ever expressed any sort of fear of Depp to her, which she said she couldn't remember. She did, though, recall a time when Heard's sister mentioned that the actress was suicidal. A slip-up that could cost Heard $50 million. The moment Heard knew she'd really lost was when she literally opened the way for Depp to win the defamation case through a careless remark. On day 2 of her testimony, Heard talked about an altercation with Depp where he was allegedly being physically abusive with her, and at one point she made a reference to Kate Moss, who is Depp's former girlfriend. Heard claimed that during the altercation she hit Depp to save her sister Whitney because Johnny was allegedly trying to push her down the stairs. The reason she mentioned Kate Moss is because of an old rumor that Depp once pushed Moss down the stairs back when they were a couple. It's apparent in the moment when Amber mentioned Kate's name, not only Johnny, but his entire team couldn't believe it. You could see the smiles on their faces they were trying to hide, because she'd really messed up and it just made their jobs much, much easier. How this works out for Depp. The reason why this is probably going to be a big deal for Depp and could help his victory in the case is because he can now invite Kate as a rebuttal witness. As the name suggests, a rebuttal witness is a witness who's called to rebut or refute an already given testimony, and the reason we know Kate would refute Amber's testimony is because there's never been any proof whatsoever of Depp pushing Kate or hurting her in any way. Contrary to Amber's testimony, even when the two split up, Kate, much like the rest of Johnny's exes, always had nothing but generally nice things to tell people about him, and she never once accused him of being physically aggressive or abusive in any way. In fact, Kate claimed that nobody ever took care of her the way Johnny did while they were together. In her 2012 interview with Vanity Fair, Kate said that there's nobody who was ever really able to care for her the way Depp did. To make things clearer, Kate even explained that Johnny helped her manage her fame and gave her advice that she still holds close to her heart to this day. Johnny and Kate dated between 1994 and 1997. Depp's fans are now saying Amber pretty much completely ruined her own case by name-dropping Kate Moss, and they had a field day clowning her on Twitter. Another Twitter user pointed out that since Kate Moss has entered the chat, it means that now every past relationship of Amber's is also fair game. A fan of Depp's even uploaded a clip of the actor leaving the court after Heard's testimony and pointed out the obvious smile of satisfaction on his face. The makeup kit that never was. Amber's very first blunder happened way before her testimony, before either of the stars even made it to the stand, actually. Fans viewing the televised trial were out in full force. ready to dissect everything as they seriously doubted an opening statement. Heard's attorney, Elaine Bredhoff, said the actress had used makeup to conceal her bruises throughout the course of her relationship with Depp. This is what Amber carried in her purse for the whole relationship with Johnny Depp, according to Bredhoff. She held a makeup palette aloft in the courtroom as she said this. In response to the statement, Milani Cosmetics released a video on TikTok, which stated that their Conceal and Perfect All-in-One Correcting Kit, which is the one Amber reportedly used to cover her bruises which were caused by domestic violence, and the same one her lawyer was holding, actually wasn't even in circulation during Heard and Depp's relationship. The correcting kit launched in December of 2017. Milani's caption on the video, which went viral and clocked up millions of views within hours, was also used as evidence of a mistruth across social media. Remember how the alleged abuse was around 2014 to 2016? From the looks of it, the two got divorced in 2016, and the palette was here in late 2017. But after that, a source close to Heard claimed that the lawyer's words were being interpreted wrongly. Bredhoff, however, did not claim that the specific brand or kit was the exact same one used by Amber. A user on the internet tweeted in response to the news that Milani Cosmetics literally went out of their way to prove Amber Heard lied in court about using their product to cover bruises because there's no way that happened, considering all the facts given. The dog incident. On the very first day of her testimony, May 4th, Heard recalled an instance when Depp allegedly held his dog out the window of a moving car and howled. According to her narrative, everyone in the car just froze then. No one did anything, according to her, as she took the stand, saying that she was too torn over what to do. She said she didn't want to cause the actor to react or drop the dog. The dog was a Yorkie called Boo. She described the incident as a chilling moment. She said she eventually got him to pull his arms and the dog back into the car. Since her testimony, video footage has been posted on TikTok in which she was seen smiling while holding a tiny dog by the open window of a moving vehicle. Obviously, this is not going to fly. Animal cruelty is absolutely unforgivable in the court of public opinion. A person on Twitter was seriously angered at this and tweeted that Amber Heard stated that Johnny was the one who held their dog out of a moving car window. So you can clearly see for yourself what the truth is. They also pointed out that if she could pin the blame on Johnny for something she did herself and lied about it so blatantly, who's to say she wasn't the perpetrator of the abuse she pinned on him herself? Whatever the results of the case, we know who's the winner in the court of public opinion. Johnny Depp, an insecure husband? Amber also claimed that Depp was so jealous and insecure that she'd have to avoid doing any scenes of a sexual nature for fear of upsetting him. She even claimed that she would have to bargain with him every time she received a script with such scenes. She further stated that Johnny's intense monitoring of her increased her awareness of how she was dressing, what kind of behavior she had, and of course, she had to see if there were any sex scenes in the film she took on. She further stated that this led to her keeping kissing scenes to a minimum, adding that she would also often change the wardrobe to tone things down. These changes in her lifestyle didn't happen all at once. It was so gradual that she didn't notice until it was too late. In response to these claims, a fan shared a video clip of Amber in the final dance scene of the 2015 movie Magic Mike XXL, in which she played Zoe, who was seen enjoying a pretty raunchy dance from Channing Tatum's titular lead, Michael Lane, which included him gyrating all over her during a performance. When promoting the movie at the time of its release, Heard was asked by Metro what it was like having Tatum all up in her face with his crotch, which led her to respond with, "I was brought in, we shot it, and it was a lot of fun. Even though it looked spontaneous, it's actually a very highly choreographed and practiced dance." So clearly, Johnny couldn't have been that upset over the whole thing. The self-contradictions in her case just keep piling up. Let's take a look at yet another mistake the Aquaman actress made in court. Heard as a musician. When she testified about one of the fights that she and Depp had allegedly gotten into, jurors were given a visual aid in the form of aftermath photos as per Insider. Now, as to the question of what was in those photos, in one, there were smashed windows. Another one featured a guitar, reportedly Depp's favorite guitar, with what looked like streaks of blood on it. When questioned, Amber denied that she played any instruments. After this, a fan shared a clip of her strumming a guitar and singing in a small clip her movie One More Time, which debuted on Starz Digital back in 2016. The case appears to be becoming not only extremely ridiculous, but also transparent at this point. It's become extremely difficult to trust any of the actress's claims. With reliable and consistent evidence coming in from Depp's side and inconsistent and dramatized evidence from Heard's, anyone can see where matters are clearly headed. Amber has had too many of her claims disproven and challenged. It's hard to imagine her coming out of this with the settlement money. Anyway, hope you guys liked today's video. Bye for now.